Let me start off by introducing our guests tonight. Who here is familiar with Patta? Show of hands. Who here owns a Patta item? See? Were you expecting that every time?
No.
No, it's always new, huh?
Yeah.
Let me start off by introducing our guests. Edson Sabajo, who is the founder of Patta. If you don't know Patta, it started in 2004 as a sneaker shop in Amsterdam, with very much a community-driven mission and ethos. And 25 years now, 20 years, still
20
in
years.
business.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah. Right next to him is Fatima Elatik, who is the head of Patta Academy and also one of the first elected Muslim Moroccan politicians in the Amsterdam City Council. Many years in politics, but now many years for giving back to the community. I want to start also by introducing myself. My name is Fady. I'm the content director of Dazed MENA. Thank you. At Dazed, also, we just launched our first issue a little over 3 weeks ago. And so far, we're here also with very much the same mission of giving back to the community and representing people that perhaps were looked at in a very different lens than what should be. So, yeah, Pata. Hello, how are you guys? All good?
Good. A little bit tired, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
No, great. Actually, I I just had some really good fish. It's like a friend of mine, Ahmed, uh, on top.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you to some Emirates food, fish." So I thought it was like local on the beach, but then
Shout out Ahmed. Well done.
but we drove like 45 minutes into the desert in this one little place, and it was amazing. And I had so much food. So if I'm a little bit tired sounding, it's because of the fish.
Okay,
he needs a real siesta right now.
True.
amazing. You've all been here for a while as well. I understand there was a course that Pata is doing here with NMK Electronics in the space. But I think let's start in the beginning. Let's start where everything started with Pata in 2004. Edson, if you can tell us a little bit about Pata and how it was shaped by the community around it, and how you always have this motto: if it's made out of love and necessity and not out of
Profit?
profit. Exactly. So paint this picture of like 2004 Amsterdam, the community. How did it all start?
You gotta think back earlier before that. So let's talk about 90s. Real simple. I have three hobbies. One of the hobbies is fashion, sneakers, and I already had like more than 200 pairs worth of sneakers. So that was one. Football. We can talk football all day. So if you want to talk football, Premier League, whatever, we can talk. And hip hop, of course, and that was the main key, the main driving force of me and my whole crew. And at one point, we was thinking about, okay, let's open up a sneaker shop where I always have a size 9, that's my size, and G, my partner. So I'm a co-founder. G is my other friend founder. We decided like, okay, then he has a size 10, and all our friends, if they buying our sneakers, so if you get 24 pairs, and if they buy all of our sneakers, that means that there is like a margin on top, and with that margin, they will pay for our sneakers. So basically, a store with free sneakers for us the whole time. That was the initial idea to start Pata. And Pata is Surinamese. Surinamese is a language from Suriname. Suriname is above Brazil, and it means sneaker. And the funny part, fun fact, Pata is normally with one T, but we put two T's, because if you do one T, everybody would say Pata.
The Dutch.
With Dutch way or European way, Western way. So that doesn't make any sense. So we put two T's, and now in the Dutch dictionary, you will find Pata with two T's, which is kind of funny that we started that. It's funny.
And Fatima, what about you? I know your history. You started with in the 90s, and you've had a very, very community-driven approach to what you do and what you did with Amsterdam City Council and the minorities, let's say, or let's say the underrepresented communities in Amsterdam and in the Netherlands. Tell us a little bit about your story and how Obviously, we'll get to how Fatima got into Patta Academy in a bit, but tell us a little bit about your story and how you sort of developed this knack for community-driven work.
If I have to summarize what I do, and if I'm honest, if I have to summarize what I've been doing since I was put on this earth, it's just being a professional meddler. I just meddle. So if I see something is wrong, um, and it doesn't matter. Like I used to do when I was 4 years old, playing on the playground, and somebody was bullying somebody else, I would stand up and meddle, even if the people were like older, the kids were older than me, or maybe even stronger than me. And actually, that's like the red line. That's actually the story, the main story in my life. I always meddle when I see injustice, when I see people being excluded, when I see people being left out, being told they're not good enough, when I see people being put in boxes. I just meddle and I just raise hell. And that's actually how I got into politics, because I was at a very young age, I was debating, um, especially Dutch politicians who would love to see people like me as foreigners, as something exclusive, something new. And I was like, no, it's nothing new about me. I was born and raised in Amsterdam. I buy my headscarves on the Amsterdam market. I don't know what's exotic about me or exclusive. It's crazy. So stop treating me like I'm somebody else. Treat me as an equal and don't stand in my way. And if I'm honest, the first, I think I'm 51 years old now, and the first maybe 30 years of my life have been fighting the system, making it see, trying to make it see that people are equal, treat them equal, don't make distinctions between people or gender, whatever, all the stuff we use to distinguish people. And also, don't stand in the way of progress of other people, and don't tell them what progress should be. And those experiences also in politics brought me to what I'm doing today. And I was thinking on the way here, what do I do? And I'm thinking like, it's actually the biggest gift you could give somebody is doing God's work on earth. You know, making people better and helping them live a proper and good life, and teaching them how to help others to have the same goals. And that's basically what we are doing with Patta Academy together with Edson.
Yes. And Edson as well, when we met earlier, you mentioned that you had always felt that you wanted to be a teacher growing up, and you always had that desire to sort of share your knowledge and not gatekeep, let's say.
Yeah.
How did that start, and how did that sort of manifest itself with Patta, even as a brand before the academy?
Yeah. So like I said before, like, we was all friends already, like in the 90s, growing up with each other, helping each other, etc., etc. And especially when it came to Patta Academy, I was did a lecture in the southeast of Amsterdam. A lot of black kids live over there, etc. And I did it, and it was fun, just talk. And then a couple of weeks later, it was during COVID, they called me. So guy Kenneth, he called me, and he said like, "Yo, can you bring some T-shirts?" I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." So I came over there, and then there was a table, and then there was a meeting, and Fatima was there too, and they just popped up laptops, and I was like, "Fuck, they tricked me." I was like, "Fuck," because I had to bring T-shirts, and then they started like at one point like, "Hey, you did the lecture and the Patta thing," and everybody was quiet for like a half hour. So you have to understand, normally kids between a certain age, after 10 minutes they got bored and they start one on the telephone, but they were quiet, and they said like, "Lo, why don't you start a Patta summer school?" And then back to your point, it was like, oh, I wanted to be a teacher back when I was 12 or like 11. So like, fuck it, let's start our own school. So we started and did a 2-week course in the summer. It was great, but it wasn't that good for my opinion, because everything what we do with Patta, we will always want to do the best to our abilities, what we can do, because sky's the limit. And I felt like it wasn't that good. And with everything that we do, we always learn. So I've learned from that. And then when we was talking, and I remember Fatima was telling me what she does, like, medal. She's like, "Yo, Ed, I think you should do this, and maybe like do this and this." And the way what she was talking, I was like, "Fuck that. You're going to do it." So I said to her like, "Yo, no, you're going to do it. We're going to do it together. But you're going to be my president, because I want to have somebody that knows what she wants and actually do what she's talking about." So she's like, let me think for like maybe 10 seconds. And then she said, yes. And I was so happy. And then, we started the Patta Academy. And through the network that we already have, we started developing our own modular, like our own plan, how to see a academy. How does it feel to have your own school? Because normally a school basically is like a teacher with a book and tells you like, oh, you got to do this or this. But there's no teacher who can actually tell you in real life what's happened. So for instance, if you have a shop and the shipment doesn't come on time, what do you do? If you have trouble with legal law, what do you do? The figures, you don't know. They will not teach you in school with that. And we have the experience. And my whole network, the big companies or the corporate companies, but also my friends, we already had that. We already experienced that. So that was the first initial thought to learn that to the kids. So that's how it started, basically.
I'd also love to hear the story of how you met from Fatima's perspective as well. Like, what did you find about Edson and Patta particularly drawing you to a collaboration and to work together?
Well, you see, I spent like 20 years in politics and the political world. So I've worked with a lot of people. I worked in a system where ego was always addressed, and ego was a main issue in the work and the relationship with people. Then you have to realize that after being in that system like for 100 hours a week and that 20 years along, and then you get out of that system and you start to get to know the world of hip hop through my husband, who's really a hip hop lover, and I got to know my husband Munir. Shout out to my husband Munir, my main squeeze.
Yes.
Shout out, Munir.
And then you get to know Edson, and you sit in a room like this, and you hear Edson speak. First of all, everything that this man says, it oozes authenticity, and that's something I hardly see in the world that I've lived and worked in. Then the second you see the reaction of the students and the people and the young ones and the old ones, how do you react to that kind of authentic leadership in somebody that looks like them? Because I know we have missed, I get emotional when I talk about this, but we have missed this when we were growing up. So this man is very modest about how he talks about the things he does, but the way he influences people and he influences people's life just by being himself. You know, this pure and this rare form of authentic identity is something that inspires. So when I met this man, I was like, is this really true? Because you have to know, I was programmed negatively with people always wanting something. And this is this guy, he says, no, I just want to do good. I just want to help people. And I was like, is he really like that? Or is it just a trick, an ends to a means, like a means to an end? Like, I do this because I want to sell clothes. No. It's just the other way around. So when I got to know this man and I saw what he did at the summer school, I was like, man, this is gold. Do you know, Edson, you have gold in your hands because you have the ability, you have the heart, because this is a heart matter. You have the heart, you have the vision, you have the network, you have the means, and you have the experience and the resolve to do this. We should take this to a higher level. And for me, it was really important because he trusted me. He didn't second guess me, because I was second guessed my whole life. I was underestimated my whole life. So to be able to work with somebody who says, just go and design it, that's why I said earlier, this is it's a gift to do God's work here on earth. And this is what he makes possible. And not just for me, I'm just a means to an end. At the end is here among our students, whether it's here in Holland or the students that went through the program. What you see is, if I look at what we did like in 4 days in Dubai, imagine what we could do if we could do like 10 months in Dubai like we do in Holland. Yeah. So for me, to be able to work with this man and do this, and he gives us all the liberty to just experiment, he says, just call me, tell me what you need, and I'll be there. And he's always there for us when we need him, and he's always there for the students. And this is how we know authentic leadership, because you have leaders that will come in, like when the camera is on, and with like in this talk, and people taking pictures, he'll be there, but he'll be there carrying boxes of T-shirts that we have to give to our kids. He puts them in his own car. He brings them to us. He'll help us unpack him. This is who the man is. So for us to do this, I don't know. This is. I think all the shit we went through, Edson, this last 50 years, was meant to be like that, to be able to do what we do, right?
Thank you. Now, like working with Fatima for me is like truly a blessing. Like, because not the way that I trust her, because I trust her, of course, a lot. But the thing is that she has the fire. maybe that's a gift. I don't know what it is. If I see that, like the immediate reaction, that the way she talked to me in the first sentence already, I was like, yo, you should be my companion in this. Maybe I met you in my earlier former lives or whatever, but this is something that I cannot explain it. So, of course, there's a lot of trust, but there's also a lot of ping pong, we call it. So she calls me, I call her, and we just, tackle some issues. And they work so really hard with Ben,
Yeah.
our coordinator, like big up, man, like for real, Ben. Like this week also, how he puts it down, he sets it and everything and so on. And then the funny part is like he just sometimes because he wants to have the highest thing, so he will not complain but more like, huh? And I'm more like, look, no worries, because this is the second year. Third year is going to be better. Fourth year is going to be better. We're going to get more people involved from Dubai itself. That's why we wanted to have the talk with the people from here. The Emirates can help us out to help and educate and stimulate the kids between 18 and 25 to become a better self than me. I'm like I always say to kids, like, I'm cool. Don't worry about me. Look how I look. I'm fucking fly. I, this is not a joke. This is what I do. That's what this Patta is all about. But Patta is also to give that they are better. I want to be better than us. Like
Yeah.
that's the main thing. Like I wanted them, like all the tools that I have in my whole body, I will put them for them. The only thing what I need is that they need to work hard, and I will put them in positions that they will never dream of. Like, oh, can I work with Porsche or with Nike or with, yeah, that is possible. And not like you work with local. No, fuck it. We go to Portland. We make that shit happen over there. You want to have connections. I got you. The only thing what I need from you guys is work hard and be on time. Por favor, because time is
Be on
valuable.
time, guys.
Yo, for real.
Please be on time.
Yeah.
So I want you to walk me through. Obviously, you guys meet. There's sparks in the air. There's fire in both of you. That first year of Patta Academy, you guys brainstorm the courses, what it is going to be for the students. What is your goal from Patta Academy that first year? What gap are you trying to fill for young creatives?
I'll tell you honestly, this is how we work together. So I met him. We saw that summer school. I said, man, we have gold. He said, okay, let's get together. We did 3 brainstorms, 3. And we just wrote it down, and I made like an outline together with a former colleague of us, Kenneth. We made an outline. There was, I think, January or February 2021 during COVID. And then by June 2021, we started the first year, like in 4 months. Edson said, okay, guys, is this the program? I said, I'm going to work on the program, the master classes, and the content of what we're doing. We just need the means. I said, okay, I'll get the means. So he opens up his network, and immediately we had 2 big sponsors, a bank and Nike. And of course Patta, and then we could start. We started selecting 25 students, and we started in July of 2021. Everybody was like declaring us crazy. How could you do this like in 4 months? So we built. I have an education background, so I was actually studying to be a biology teacher way back in time. So I know something about building curricula and educational programs. So we just started. And Patta Academy is now in its 4th year in Holland. And it's a 10-month program. And the program is actually a leadership program for young creatives who want to just rock the world and change the world. And the program consists of 3 layers, 3 important. The first of all is personal leadership, because we can teach you any skill you want, but if you don't have personal leadership, if you don't take control of your own dreams, if you don't acknowledge who you are and have a vision about what you want to reach to, then we can teach you all skills, but it won't lead to anything. So then after you know who you are and you take personal accountability for your own progress and your own development, then we teach you some basic skills about, okay, you want to do in business, or you want to start a venue, or you start an event, or you just want to be the best baker there is in the world, then we'll help you learn some skills on how to do that, how to build a business, how to build an event, how to make a plan. And the third and most important part also in the program is network and community, because Patta, as a company, is a community-based business. And Patta Academy is also community-based, because we actually say it takes a village to raise a child. Then let's make that village aware and knowledgeable how to raise that child in a time like this. So what we're doing is building the community so more children can be raised and can be given all the space and the energy and the love and the attention and the knowledge to grow up with all the things that they need that what we didn't have when we were growing up. So these three components of the program are woven into the curriculum the whole year. So by the end, when our students graduate, and they graduate 10 months later, they work on their personal development plan, they work on their pitch, whether it's a business or it's an event or a project they want to do, and they have to pitch in front of a Dragon's Den, a Shark Tank. So our students of Dubai had to pitch yesterday in front of the Shark Tank in Dubai, and when they graduate, the students become a member of the alumni club, the Roman Edson Sabajo alumni club. It's an alumni club named after the late son of Edson and Nika. And because we want them to be part of the family, because we put our money where our mouth is. So we don't give you a certificate and say, bye, thank you, and I'll see you once in a while, once in a year at a party or whatever. No, you become a member of the community, and you stay in the community. And our students have their own alumni club. They organize their own activities. And each masterclass, each program we give in the year, each masterclass of the current year, every day, two of the alumni kids have to be there because they have to greet their brothers and sisters, get to know them, and they go with them through the program. So this is how we try to build kind of a sense of community, of people being able to rely on each other. And Edson always says, if you don't have a tribe, find your tribe. So we're building this tribe out of this extremely beautiful and diverse, creative world that we live in, because there's so much to learn and there's so much to give if we are open to teach each other. And what we do is all that we have been taught, we teach the next generation. And the only thing we ask our students is pay it forward. Do your work and then pay it forward.
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
Yeah.
And what also is interesting is that all the companies that are with us, so let's say a Nike or a bank, they not only give us money, but they also need to give lessons. And they have to have internships for these kids. So it's like a whole program throughout the whole year, so that those people, let's say a Nike, will invite the kids to their headquarters in Hilversum, and they're gonna learn them about marketing or some other stuff. And then you get like a program within the corporate world or in the real world, which you don't have normally when you go to school, which is really important for us. That not only to get the money, of course, the funding, but also that those corporate companies will learn from our kids and we can learn from them. Because it's also like, it's a flip side to every coin. And I think that's the most beautiful thing from our academy, to have that in our thing. It's really great.
When we met, you mentioned a story also where someone from the sponsors had an interaction with one of the students, and they actually ended up learning how perhaps they should approach their target audience differently.
Yeah.
And this always happens because when you have someone from the sponsors sort of interacting with the kids that perhaps they interact with through a deck or through a marketing strategy, it hits them different.
Nowadays, because now we have an alumni club of 75 students in Holland, like about 2 weeks ago, Ben, our program director, and I, we had to speak at this big law firm that is sponsoring us. And we went there, but we took 3 of our alumni students. And I was really tired because we were preparing this, and Ben was on his phone the whole time. But we took 3 of our students, and all of a sudden, I just introduced them and told them, you say something about Patta Academy and say something about what you're doing. Then all of a sudden, I was sitting in the back, and I was listening. And I was like, God, they could do the pitches now. We don't have to, because they're the target group that these companies want to work with. So why put somebody, 50-year-old woman in front of them? Why not put a 21-year-old girl that started her business? That's the new target group of this company. Let them tell the companies what's going on, what they need. And this is how we try to make the world better, influence also the system, is by having the sponsors and our partners be a part of our community also. So just giving money and saying, well, I did something nice, it's not enough. You have to be a part of the family and help us build this community.
Yep.
When I visited Patta Academy here in Dubai, there was an alumni. His name is Musa, I believe.
I don't know where he is.
Musa.
Is he here?
He's buying stuff now at the moment. He's smart.
So he was sharing a story about how he was 16 or 17 when he joined Patta Academy,
Yeah.
and how you also made an exception for him
Yeah.
to join the academy at that age. I want to also know for you what the criteria is for you when you select the talents, because I know you have a very limited number
Yeah.
per year or per course, which you're trying to grow with the help of your sponsors. But what do you look for beyond just, let's say, achievements or like,
So,
vision?
so in Holland, each year we select 25 students. I always have to select 27, 28, 29 because I'm a sucker for good stories. So I always have to go back to one sponsors and beg, are you okay? Can you like sponsor two more? Because they're so good, we cannot let them go. But we select 25. So the students have to write a letter and they send their CV and the recommendation letter. So somebody has to recommend them. Could it be their best friend, their mom, their dad, their auntie, whoever can vouch for them why they deserve a chance at a place at Patta Academy. To tell you the truth, when I get those letters, they give me kind of an insight, and I look at the CV, and I say, and for me, CV is not really important. Like, it's not about how many schools you went through. I just want to know what your interests are. But the most important thing happens when we have the conversation with them. First of all, when they come in, you feel their energy. Are they excited? Ismail, you have to come in, baby, because we're talking about you. Yeah, we were waiting for you. Sit.
He is there. He's coming in. Yeah.
So, you see the energy when they come in, like Ismail came in, but then you see also how the way they pitch, the way they talk. But because then some of the kids come in very anxious and they bring all kinds of shit that they made, and I said, put it away, just tell me your story. What's your dream? That's the first question we ask. And if they're capable of being outrageous and daring to mention their dream, that's the first click I get. Okay, and you have to understand, we select students that are creative, talented, driven to get the best out of life and to the impossible to reach their dreams. But sometimes they lack the network or the support, or they're like us, they look like us, so we know what kind of background they have. So sometimes it's an emotion, sometimes it's just a look, sometimes it's just a feeling, and most of the time it's the energy and the grit and the passion that they have that makes us say, okay, we have to have you in our program. So then it's the other way around. Like, we feel honored that they came to us to ask us to help them or give them a kind of an education. So this is how we select. This is how I selected. Or we also selected the group from Dubai this year, and we had with them. We didn't have a face-to-face, but on online. But you could feel online. You could feel the energy, and I'm so glad we chose the group. We chose the group that we have here because they were amazing.
Yeah, great.
And also, one of the things we spoke about was how you empower each one of the students to sort of own their story and own their background and
Yeah.
own their culture and what they're trying to bring forward with their work.
Yeah.
And you also provide them with a safe space to do that. So even let's say someone's comes from a difficult background or a challenging background, you sort of empower them to turn that into work and into something positive. Um,
Yeah, because there's nothing they can tell us that will be shock us because we've seen it all, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like it's just great. It's just fantastic just to see them coming through. And like we said before, it's the fire. If you see the fire, you feel the fire. That's it. And then we can work together, and then we can build a better us. That's what we do. Like what she said, it's like she's 51, I'm 52, so it's time to give back now. So and then through the Patta Academy, we can give back, but also the other stuff that we do at Patta, of course. But Patta Academy is one pillar that is really fulfilling our hearts, like really great.
so we already spoke of Musa and his success story. Are there any other stories that you have close to your heart from
Well,
the
actually,
students?
this week a couple of things happened. So, first of all, the students in Dubai, they blew my mind, really. I mean, what they went through in 4 days, and how they were at the beginning of the program, and how this. I was looking at them pitching on podia and just standing in front of the group and pitching their ideas on day 4, and I was like, oh my God, if we could do this in day 4, what could we reach to if we do this 10 months? That's one. And each of them nice, sweet, motivated, passionate individuals that really need the support of the Dubai community. So if somebody is here that has all the contacts within the Dubai business world, please, people, open your hearts and really adapt to each one, teach one. Help this student because these students will shape the future of this country. That's one. The second thing is we brought one of our alumni from Holland with us, Ismail Musa. You just mentioned him. He started out in Patta Academy when he was 16 years old. He's now 18, has his own business. 19. Okay, mashallah, 19. I do for you later. So, but when he was in the academy, he was always already doing business. He was a reseller of sneakers because he loves sneakers and shoes. And now he has his own company doing all kinds of vintage luxury
Clothing, yeah.
luxuries, bags and clothes that he sells. He has a pop-up right now in Amsterdam. But what I love is because we're trying to bridge gaps and building a larger community that's not contained to nationalities or regions or whatever, is that in Dubai's group this year we had like the Dubai Ismail, because we had Adnan, and Adnan, he's from Sharjah, and he's owner of the Basement, his own reselling. Yeah, give him a big hand. Yeah, shout out to Adnan. And Adnan does actually what also Ismail used to do and also does. So we thought that we should pair these two because they could be like buddies and help each other out. And we're very proud to see that Adnan and Ismail, they kicked it off together and they had a good conversation, and you were together yesterday till very late. I have to talk to you about that, keeping Ismail so late.
Wow.
But the wonderful thing is that, these guys live like 7,000 or maybe how many 7,000 miles away from each other. But the world is smaller now, and the distance is smaller. And imagine if we could just match these two. Imagine if we could match our 75 students in Holland with 75 students in Dubai. You know what we could do? You know what we could reach to? So for me, this is success.
Yeah.
Getting people together to change the world. That's basically what we're doing.
And just what she said, like, not only like now we have 75, we're going to come over here, of course, 75 in Amsterdam, but also Dubai. But then later on, probably it's going to be like London. We just opened up a store in Lagos, so Lagos too. So it will be like a worldwide thing where you have like many kids helping each other and making it a better world at the end of the day. So now the question is what Fatima also was asking or saying, like, if people from Dubai want to help, you got to understand if you're like a company or you have a company or you have a business or a platform or whatever, what do you do to change the world, basically? Like, are you sitting and on the sideline or be on like Instagram or Twitter, hey man, fuck the world, or you just really going to make a change? We, as together, we can make changes. And we have now the platform to do that. Also now with Soul DXB, Dazed is backing us up. Everybody is going to back us up. What do you do as a person or as a company sitting right now over here thinking like, hey, let me change that narrative. Let me get my ass up and change it and help, not us. It's not about me or like Patta or whatever, or the academy. It's about the kids from over here with new visions, new dreams, good dreams, better dreams than us to change the whole world. And I think that you should question yourself like, can I help or am I just a nobody? Like, you actually can help. And it's real simple. You can contact me or Fatima right there. I will send you to Ben because Ben is over there. Because Ben is the guy.
Business cards.
And, just think about it. Like anything. You don't have to be like, oh, I'll have to put money. It can also be facilitating or like great ideas or whatsoever to help, not us. It's just for the alumni and for the group and for the peoples, basically. Just wanted to add up.
Yeah, thank you. That's it. That's right. It. Like we would love to see that the alumni club in Dubai, which consists now of 25 students, 10 last year and 15 this year, if they have a space that where they could meet, they could organize their own events. The president, we just appointed the president yesterday of the Dubai Alumni Club, because they need a space, they need a company, they need somebody to just give them the position and the opportunity and the facilities to organize all kinds of. We'll help them with the content from Amsterdam. So this is what we look for. It's not much. Just open your doors, make it possible for these students, because they are creative enough. They will do the shit they have to do. Just open a door for them. So if anybody here has contacts in the business world in Dubai, please pay it forward. by opening up the doors and making them open the doors. If anything they need, they can contact us and we'll help set it up.
See.
So what's next for Patta Academy? How do you achieve this Patta London, Patta USA, Patta global domination? How do you actually change the leaders?
Now you're scaring me, world domination. That's a very scary thing to say to a professional meddler.
Yeah.
Step by step, because we're not in a hurry. We said first we're gonna build 5 years in Holland, in Amsterdam. So this summer, next summer, the 5th year will start. Have a solid ground, and even when we do stuff in other countries, like now we come to Dubai, we did a test. We started last year. This year we did the second, and we'll do something the 3rd year, just to build it up carefully. But you have to understand, we're not colonizers that want to expand their territory. You know, we're building community, so that takes time, and we don't want to come here and like tell everybody this is how you should do it. No, we want to find the community here that we can help build it, give it a local scent, give it a local identity. So we're taking the time to build this carefully, to find a Dubai or a Dubai Ben or a Dubai Fatima who can take it on. And the same goes for Lagos or London or every other city we go to. So do small, build it up good, but also build on a strong community, because without community, Patta Academy can't exist. It just will be like any ordinary business school, any ordinary university, and we're not here to be to do ordinary shit. We are here to do excellent shit.
Yes. No, she's totally right. You know, like no, and but also what you also have to understand. Before we came over here last year, we already had a long relationship with Soul DXB. That's how we first. The same as with Patta, we first have relationships, and from there on we can think about, is that solid ground to start a Patta Academy. So I would love to thank Soul DXB for giving us the opportunity to actually do stuff over here, which is really great.
Would you like to open the floor for questions from people in the audience?
Yes, if people have questions, of course. Ahmed. Oh. Where do I draw the line between colonization and building community? You know, for me, colonization is like I will come here and tell you guys what's the best in the world. That's kind of Western kind of colonialism. I don't like that. What I would love to do is to build a strong community, like with you guys, the alumni. And if we have, let's say, after next year, we have like 50 students in the alumni club, we can start also talking about how we build the program together to give it the answers for the questions that are here in this region. Because I don't live here. I don't know the system pretty well. I can imagine, I'm a well-read woman, so I read a lot about the Middle East and I follow everything in the news, and I'm not crazy. But how to know how it really feels, you have to be able to, you have to live here every day, day to day. You have to know, like I know the smell in Amsterdam. If something is wrong, I can smell it. So we need to work with people like you. And what we'd love to do is to build a program, make it stronger with you guys. And this is how we do it also in Amsterdam. Every year, the program gets better. Not because we get better, but because we interact with the students and the community, and they help us make the program better. Like I said to you guys this week, you said, each day gets better in the program. And I told you it's not because of, we just are guides. You make it better by give us input. You give us input, the next day we perform better. So this is how I would love to see a partnership. And I'm very careful about colonial ideas, because we in the West always are arrogant enough to think, but we know already because we are so far ahead. But then we come here saying, on some things we are ahead, on sometimes we definitely, on some things we are not definitely are not. So it's good to have you guys as our counterparts. So just give us feedback, be critical, kick our butts if we do it wrong. And because this is how we work also in Holland, right?
This is totally correct. Yeah, no, totally correct. No, it's just the main thing is to put you in power. Like, remember we had the class, and I was asking about like, yo, do you have a tailor or like something like stuff that you guys don't even think it's like powerful.
Yeah.
And we're like, yo, this shit is, you have so much power and so much stuff that even the Western world would be so jealous about what you guys have. So look at that we just pointed it out and we're like,
Yeah.
yo, go ahead and let's collaborate and let's do some stuff. So that's the main thing, especially in Dubai, but also let's say in Lagos or in Amsterdam or in London or Milan or wherever. You know, put you in power, basically.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Yes, right here.
Yes.
Hold on. There's a microphone.
You just describe every student that comes to Patta Academy every year. First thing I tell them is chill. How old are you? 20, 21? Please chill, enjoy life. You have a lot of time to do everything you want to do. And we help them start at first get to know who they are. What's the real dream? What's the real outrageous dream that you have that you do not dare to speak out of? Or and then we start to help them make a plan. Start with one thing first and excel in that thing, and then the other stuff will come. But you have to have a kind of a focus. Because when you do like 20 things all of the time, you're going to do half of it, or maybe less than half. But if you start with one thing, that's the main course, that could be like the pillar of every other thing you do, then that helps them. And this is the question we get every year, and we try to help them to focus. Just make one item. We have a lot of students who come and want to be, I want to start a clothing brand. And I said, okay, that's like a large ambition. Clothing brand is nothing. And we say to them, in that 10 months that you're with us, just make one item. One item that you can take to a Dragon's Den and pitch. Just one shirt, one, I don't know, one trouser, one dress, whatever the fuck you make. One item. And you see that it's so difficult to get one item exactly at the quality they want, because all these creatives are perfectionists, you know? So start with one thing, and then you will see the other thing will come. But the most important thing is, because we teach personal leadership skills and also community, is that what we see during the program, when they focus on one thing, but meanwhile they're working on themselves and on their own project, and they get to know other people. Slightly at the end of the other things they want to do, they can do, but not just on their own. But you have people in the group that love music too, so they do collabs by the end of the year. So by taking a step back, focusing on one thing, and everybody focus on one thing, and having a diverse group, they get to do the other stuff. So this is what we do with our students. You know, take a chill, do one thing, and then look around you. Who's there with you in your community that does the stuff that you like? Maybe you could do a combo or a collab, and then you get to do also music, or you can do design, or you can do. And this is how Patta works, right? We engage the community.
Or you just do everything like at once. Like
And then go nuts.
No, yeah. No, she's totally right. Yeah. Focus on one thing. Real simple.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Here.
Hey.
So what's the dream? What's the vision? 5, 10 years from here, how does Patta Academy look like?
The dream is an institute that provides young new leaders of the world with all the skills and education and endowment and support that they need to achieve their highest dreams, their own dreams, and take not just personal leadership, but also leadership in the world, and just make this world a better place. And it's based on actually the philosophy also of how Edson lived his life, a value-based business leadership school, not a profit-based. We don't hate profit, but it shouldn't be on the forefront, because all the businesses that the world that's been led by profit-leading value leaders is crumbling down. So we don't have time. We have to prepare the new leaders to be value-based in order to save our planet and our world. So the dream is an institute that teaches that to everybody that wants to contribute.
We're going to have to wrap up the question segment now, but any last words, any last messages to the youth in the building?
No, totally
In the
not.
building.
Just do your thing.
I think we was clear enough. If anyone want to approach us, please do that, and I will give everything to Ben because Ben is sitting over there. He will take care of everything. But
Right.
don't be shy. Don't be afraid. We'll be here there for the more 3 days, so you can think about it also, and see us tomorrow or Sunday, probably at the bar. So yeah, buy
So
us a
and
drink.
and please, because we want to support our Dubai students and alumni, support them. And please, people in Dubai, go check out the basement in Sharjah, right?
See,
Thank you.
thank you.
Basement.